Good morning, everyone. Everybody is requested to please rise as we are to commence our regular session.
Morning, everyone. Welcome to our sixth regular session. This regular session is now called to order. May I request Honorable Duhali to lead the prayer to be followed by the singing of the national anthem and the recitation of the Councilor's Creed.
Let us bow down our heads and put ourselves in the presence of our Almighty. In the name of Father, Son, and Holy Spirit. Amen. Our divine providence, we humble ourselves before you as we praise your holy name and feel your presence in our midst. We implore your divine guidance and blessing as we consciously gathered on this occasion, our regular session, in pursuit and furtherance of the cherished goals and objectives of our beloved city of Panabo. We beseech you, all-powerful God, to enrich our hearts, to enlighten our minds, and to broaden our understanding and compassion to one another as we carry and pursue our goals and objectives, not only on these particular occasions, but also in many times of our striving and endeavors. Please, Almighty God, elevate our spirit and fortify our steps as we seek to keep and edify our city council, everyone in the whole, and as we strive perseveringly to enhance and strengthen our beloved city of Panabo. All these are divine providence we fervently ask under your supreme guidance and direction. Amen.
Bayang magiliw, perlas ng silanganan, alab ng puso, sa dibdib mo'y buhay. Lupang hinirang, duyan ka ng magiting, sa manlulupig, di ka pasisiil. Sa dagat at bundok, sa simoy at sa langit mong bughaw, may dilagang tula at awit sa paglayang minamahal. Ang kislap ng watawat mo'y tagumpay na nagniningning. Ang bituin at araw niya kailan pa may di magdidilim. Lupa ng araw ng luwalhati pagsinta, buhay ay langit sa piling mo. Aming ligaya ng pag may mga api, ang mamatay ng dahil sa'yo.
I am a Philippine councilor, mandated by law to enact measures and ordinances that redound to the general welfare of my constituents and their pursuit for happiness, peace, and prosperity. I believe in public service above self as a guiding principle of my official acts, and as I tread the pathways of local legislation, may the Almighty guide my mind and heart that I shall be true to my constituents and to the Filipino people.
Once again, good morning, everyone, and welcome to our sixth regular session dated February 8, 2021. At this point in time, I request our Secretary, Madam Leila, to please call the roll.
Thank you, Honorable Chair. For the roll call of attendance of the sixth regular session dated February 8, 2021. Honorable John Ray Gavina, City Vice Mayor, Presiding Officer.
Present.
Present, Honorable John Paulo Hintiles. Present, Honorable Gregorio Uduhali III, MPA, MDMG. Present. Honorable Attorney Divona Humamil.
Present.
Present. Honorable Imiterio Blase. Present. Honorable Flipon Royal Catalan. Present. Honorable Attorney Wendell M. Enat. Still not around. Honorable Emmanuel Pamisaran. Present. Honorable Dizon Namuwag, MBA. Present. Honorable Rinante Bangoy. Present. Honorable Wahid Ranain.
Present.
Present. Honorable Conrad Theodore Matutino. Present. Honorable Dato Rodrigo Ambasan is on sick leave. Honorable Danica Laika Karisma. Present. There are 12 in attendance, Honorable Chair.
Okay, thank you, Madam Secretary. This sixth regular session is now in order and in quorum. At this point in time, I request our floor leader, Honorable Duhali, to facilitate our proceedings. Go ahead.
Thank you and nice morning, Honorable Presiding Officer, members of this August Chamber, of course the Secretariat and the televiewers. Honorable Presiding Officer, at this juncture, let me pass a resolution dispensing the reading of the journal and minutes of the 5th regular session of the 8th City Council dated February 1, 2021. I so move, Mr. President.
This is by Honorable Duhali, duly seconded by Honorable Blase, Honorable Matutino. Any comments? Amendments? Objections? Hearing none, the motion dispensing the reading of the journal and minutes of the 5th regular session of the 8th City Council dated February 1, 2021 is hereby duly carried and approved.
In relation, Honorable Presiding Officer, this humble representation would like to pass a resolution for the approval of the journal and minutes of the 5th regular session of the 8th City Council dated February 1, 2021. I so move, Mr. President.
Again, it was by Honorable Duhali, duly seconded by Honorable Blase. Honorable Anteles, any comments? Amendments? Objections? Hearing none, the motion approving the journal and minutes of the 5th regular session of the 8th City Council dated February 1, 2021 is hereby duly carried and approved.
Honorable Presiding Officer, we are now on the privileged hour. There are two gentlemen who manifested to deliver their privileged speeches. First to deliver, kindly do acknowledge the distinguished gentleman from Barangay San Francisco, Honorable Conrad Theodore Matutino.
Okay, Honorable Matutino is now recognized by the Chair.
Thank you very much, Mr. President. Akong pagyukbo o pagtahod sa katawhan sa siyudad sa Panabo. To our Presiding Officer, City Vice Mayor Honorable John Ray G. Gavina, member of this august body, Sangguniang Panglungsod Secretary Ms. Laila P. Salgumba, MPA, and the Sangguniang Panglungsod staff, guests, visitors, a pleasant morning to each and everyone. His Excellency President Roa Rodrigo Duterte signed a Proclamation 922 dated March 8, 2020 for purposes of incapacitating the government agencies, including LGUs, to immediately act to prevent loss of life, utilize appropriate resources to implement urgent and critical measures to contain the prevent the spread of coronavirus diseases or COVID-19, mitigate its effect and impact to the community, and prevent serious disruption of the functioning of the government and the community. To establish proactive participation, the city government of Panabo through the 8th City Council craft and enact City Ordinance number 2-2020 entitled Imposing Curfew Hour to all persons between 9 o'clock in the evening to 5 o'clock in the morning in the territorial jurisdiction of Panabo during the state of public health emergency. As a response to the challenge of the Davao Region COVID-19 Task Force, Order number 22-002, which strongly recommends to all local legislative councils of Davao Region to immediately issue ordinances for curfew and view of pressing need to have uniform community quarantine guidelines of Davao Region. However, when it comes to the implementation, the PNP find it's hard to implement since the ordinance sought to be amended does not provide for the penalty for its violation. As a result of the inadequacy, the PNP imposes a penalty taken from the revised penal code on the disobedience of the person in authority or his agent. As enshrined under the Article 151 of the same code, the penalty for such violation imposes a heavy burden to the violators, as the penalty provided for is arresto mayor, which carries with a penalty of imprisonment or fine, or both. As a rule, violation of city ordinance only carries a fine and not penalty of imprisonment. This is especially true under the Republic Act 7160, otherwise known as the Local Government Code of 1991. A penalty of imprisonment can only be imposed by court after appropriate charges are filed herein. For this is the right and proper to impose fines within the purview of the Local Government Code. This is to solve the confusion resulting from the enforcement of an ordinance which does not carry penalty or penalties for its violation. Fines that do not impose heavy burdens for its transgressions. The state or the LGU, as is case, is exercising its right and obligation under the pattern familias concept. However, the exercise of such rights and obligation must commensurate to the act or acts which seek to proscribe. Although we are facing an adversary that carries a heavy toil brought by the pandemic, lives were lost, employment opportunities ceased, and the economic effect brought to standstill. The government seek to address this kind of problem without losing the sense of humanity. This measure is not to add unnecessary burden, Mr. Chair, but to impose order despite the challenge of the pandemic. Mr. President, as the chairman of the Peace, Public Safety, and Anti-Drug Abuse, and a representative of the 40 barangays of this city, would like to pass or pray a proposed ordinance amending the City Ordinance Number 2-2020 by adding a provision for penalties. Thank you very much, and once again, good morning.
Okay, thank you, Honorable Matutino. Your privileged speech will be go to your committee on Peace and Order. Okay, thank you.
Beforehand, Honorable Presiding Officer, kindly do acknowledge Honorable Poloy Inad.
Okay, Chair acknowledge the presence of Honorable Anad.
All right, Honorable Presiding Officer, after the Honorable Matutino, kindly do acknowledge yours truly for my peace for this privileged speech.
Okay, good, Honorable Duhali.
All right, thank you, Honorable Floor Leader, members of this August Chamber. I stand corrected because I was distracted. No. But anyways, I'm so sorry. Honorable Presiding Officer. Usa ka mainit o gawas nung adlaw kanatong tanan. We are the ladies and gentlemen of this esteemed chamber of the legislators. We are lawmakers of the city with an inspiration to provide our constituents a progressive yet affable city. We cannot allow our city to retrogress. Instead, we have to push it towards perfections and aptness. This is our duty as councilors, members of this August Chamber. This is a part of our creed, that we are mandated by law to enact measures and ordinances that redound to the general welfare of our constituents in their pursuit for happiness, peace, and prosperity. Nowadays, urban development is a continuing challenge for local governments, while local government units aspire to become centers of growth, trade, commerce, and employment. Urbanization brings with it increasing populations, informal settlements, traffic congestion, infrastructure, health and environmental concerns, and peace and order problems. Within the scope of functions of local governments, The heart of the challenge lies in keeping with the demand to deliver necessary and sufficient services to growing urban populations. One of the services which we consider today as essential in our locality is the delivery of services offered by the national agencies such as the Land Transportation Office, PhilHealth, Bureau of Internal Revenue, and etc. Establishing their satellite offices to our city will certainly help save our time, effort, and money in transaction with such offices because we could no longer go to Davao City or Tagum City. However, I believe that we will still have to request other national offices to establish their satellite office here in Panabo to cater our more or less 200,000 constituents, specifically in the promotion of the maintenance of peace and order with the coordination of the national and local police agencies. As such, it is timely and prudent to eventually establish satellite office like the National Bureau of Investigations to our city to help our police force for more efficient detection and investigation of crimes. Further, it will also lessen the burden of Panabuans in securing NBI clearance, where it is one of the requisites for job application and other purposes. Our growing population creates more demand for public service wherein we, the people of the government, should initiate for public convenience. Furthermore, as I said earlier, there's a need to put satellite office here because of this COVID-19 pandemic. We are partially barred toy travel places to places due to the protocol implemented by different localities. On that note, Honorable Presiding Officer, my colleagues in this esteemed chamber, at this juncture, please allow this humble representation to pass a legislative measure under the unassigned business entitled earnestly requesting Vicente Essex Minguez, National Bureau of Investigation, NBI Provincial Director, Davao del Norte, and Honorable Jose Rilampagos, City Local Chief Executive, to establish an NBI satellite office to draw near the delivery of essential service to the growing population of Panabo City. And finally, thank you and good day to all. Atong team lang yapon.
Thank you, Honorable Duhali. Your privileged speech, your resolution will be transferred to the unassigned business.
All right, Honorable Presiding Officer, at this juncture, question hour. Nobody wants to avail. And for the reading and referral of the proposed measure at this juncture, kindly do acknowledge the Secretary to the Sanggunian.
Okay, Madam Leila is recognized for the chair. Go ahead.
Thank you, Honorable Chair. For the reading and referral of proposed measures, for proposed ordinance, we have 3 items. A.1 is proposed City Ordinance Number 5, Series of 2021, establishing a no-build zone along the Mindanao Railway Project alignment in the city of Panabo. Proponent, Honorable Gregorio U. Duhali III, MPA, MDMG.
Item A.1 to be referred to the Committee on Public Works, Infrastructures, Parks, and Plaza.
A.2, proposed City Ordinance Number 6, Series of 2021, amending Article 4, Sections 8A-A-1 and 8A-A-2 of the City Ordinance Number 6-12, otherwise known as the Zoning Ordinance of Panabo City, by reclassifying the zoning classification of specific lots in Barangay Quezon, Barangay Numalitbog, and Barangay Southern Davao, respectively. Proponent, Honorable Wahid Ranain.
Item A.2 to be referred to the Committee on Housing, Zoning, and Urban Development.
Proposed Ordinance Number 3 for A.3 is proposed City Ordinance Number 7, Series of 2021, amending City Ordinance Number 2-2020, entitled Imposing Curfew Hours to All Persons Between 9 o'clock in the evening to 5 o'clock in the morning in the territorial jurisdiction of Panabo during the state of public health emergency by adding provisions for penalties. Proponent, Honorable Conrad Eudor Matutino.
Item 8.3 to be referred to the Committee on Peace, Public Safety, and Anti-Drug Abuse.
We have none under proposed resolutions, but under the petitions, requests, and other communications, we have 6 items. C.1 is Appropriation Ordinance Number 4, Series of 2020, embodying the calendar year 2020 supplemental budget Number 4 of Barangay Consolacion, Panabo City, amounting to 73,000 pesos only.
Item C.1 to be referred to the Committee on Finance and Appropriations.
C.2 is letter from Honorable Jose E. Relampago, City Mayor, dated January 25, 2021, endorsing to the 8th City Council the following Local Health Board resolutions for appropriate action. For C2.A is a LHB Resolution Number 13, Series of 2020, requesting the Sangguniang Panlungsod for an appropriate action on the increase of the honorarium of the Barangay Volunteer Sanitary Inspector from 1,250 to 1,750 pesos. B. LHB Resolution Number 14, Series of 2020, requesting the Sangguniang Panlungsod for an appropriate action on the increase of the quarterly honorarium of the barangay health workers from 3,000 to 4,500 pesos, and LHB Resolution Number 15, Series of 2020, requesting the Sangguniang Panlungsod for an appropriate action on the increase of the retirement benefit of the barangay health workers from 500 pesos per year to 1,000 pesos per year.
Item C.2 to be referred to the Joint Committees on Health and Sanitation and Finance and Appropriations.
C.3 is letter from Honorable Jose Relampago, City Mayor, dated January 29, 2021, requesting for authority to enter into and sign the Memorandum of Agreement by and among the 7 local government units under the Metropolitan Davao, namely the City Government of Panabo, City Government of Davao, City Government of Tagum, City Government of Samal, City Government of Digos, Municipal Government of Carmen, and Municipal Government of Santa Cruz for LGU financial support for the Metropolitan Davao Development Coordinating Committee, MDDCC operations.
Item C.3 to be referred to the Joint Committees on Public Works and Infrastructures, Parks and Plaza, and Finance and Appropriations.
C.4, letter from Honorable Jose Relampago, City Mayor, dated January 27, 2021, requesting for an authority to enter into and sign the Memorandum of Agreement with Department of Agriculture, Regional Office 11, for the management of banana fusarium wilt in Panabo City.
Honorable Presiding Officer, at this juncture, can we do acknowledge Honorable Renante Bangoy?
Honorable Bangoy is now recognized by the Chair.
Thank you, Mr. President. For the item C.4, may I request this to be transferred in the unassigned business.
Those to Honorable Bangoy, duly seconded by Honorable Enteles, Honorable Pamisara, Honorable Carisma, and Honorable Blase. Any comment? Honorable Matutino, any comments? Amendments? Objections? Hearing none, the motion transferring item C.4 to the unassigned business is hereby duly carried and approved.
C.5 is letter from Mr. Hermie M. Abadies, lot owner, dated January 2021, requesting for reclassification of an area situated beside Peza at Purok 17, Barangay San Vicente, Panabo City, from residential to industrial zone.
Item C.1 to be referred to the Committee on Housing, Zoning, and Urban Development.
C.6 is letter from Honorable Jose Relampago, City Mayor, dated February 3, 2021, requesting authority to enter into and sign the deed of usufruct between the City of Panabo and the Land Transportation Office, Region Office 11, concerning the use and management of a portion of lot owned by the city.
Item C.6 to be referred to the Committee on Housing, Zoning, and Urban Development.
All right, through with the committee referral, Honorable Presiding Officer, at this juncture, we are now on the committee reports, of which we have 5 items. First to deliver is committee report. Kindly do acknowledge this humble representation.
Okay, go ahead, Honorable Dohali.
And beforehand, Honorable Presiding Officer, a motion to dispense the reading of these 5 items committee reports. I so move, Mr. President.
To sue by Honorable Duhali, duly seconded by Honorable Matutino, Honorable Henteles, and Honorable Blase. Any comments, amendments, objections? Hearing none, the motion dispensing the reading of the 5 committee reports is hereby duly carried and approved.
Second, Honorable Presiding Officer, allow me to pass a resolution adopting Committee Report Number 2, Series of 2021, Committee on Public Works, Infrastructure, and Parks and Plaza, regarding the request of the Department of Transportation in relation to the enactment of the ordinance declaring Mindanao Railways project alignment as a no-build zone. I so move, Mr. President.
To sue by Honorable Duhali, duly seconded by Honorable Pamisara, Honorable Henteles, and Honorable Blase. Any, Honorable Duhali?
Period of debate and interpellation is now open.
Period of debate and interpellation is now open.
Nobody seems interested. Debate and interpellation is now closed. Open the period of amendments.
Period of debate and interpellation is now closed. We're now on the period of amendments.
Period of amendment is now closed.
Period of amendments now closed. Any objections from the floor? Hearing none, the motion adopting Committee Report Number 2, Series 2021, Committee on Public Works, Infrastructures, and Parks and Plaza, regarding request from Department of Transportation in relation to the enactment of an ordinance declaring Mindanao Railway project alignment as a no-build zone is hereby duly carried and approved.
All right, at this juncture, Honorable Presiding Officer, for the Committee Report Number 10, Committee on Finance and Appropriation from the cyberspace, can you do acknowledge Honorable Wyden?
Okay, go ahead, Honorable Renain.
Thank you so much, Mr. President and Mr. Floor Leader, and good morning to the members of the 8th City Council. The President would like to pass a resolution adopting Committee Report Number 10, Series of 2021, Committee on Finance and Appropriation, regarding Appropriation Ordinance Number 1, Series of 2020, embodying the calendar year 2020 Supplemental Budget Number 1 of Barangay JP Laurel, Panabo City, amounting to 1,718,812 pesos and 42 centavos. I so move, Mr. President.
To sue by Honorable Renain, duly seconded by Honorable Henteles, Honorable Matutino, Honorable Blase, and Honorable Misara, and Honorable Duhali.
Period of debate and interpellation is now open.
Period of debate and interpellation is now open.
Once again, nobody seems interested. Debate and interpellation is now closed. Open the period of amendments.
Period of debate and interpellation is now closed. We're now on the period of amendments.
Period of amendments is now closed.
Period of amendments now closed. Any objections from the floor? Hearing none, the motion adopting Committee Report Number 10, Series 2021, Committee on Finance and Appropriations, regarding Appropriation Ordinance Number 1, Series of 2020, embodying the calendar year 2020, Supplemental Budget Number 1 of Barangay JP Laurel, Panabo City, amounting to 1,718,812 pesos and 42 centavos is hereby duly carried and approved.
For the second time, Honorable Presiding Officer, Committee Report Number 11, same committee, Committee on Finance and Appropriation, from virtual reality. Can you do acknowledge Honorable Wyden?
Okay, again, Honorable Renain is now recognized by the Chair.
Thank you again, Mr. President and Mr. Floor Leader. I move to pass a resolution adopting Committee Report Number 11, Series of 2021, still of the Committee on Finance and Appropriation, regarding Sangguniang Kabataan, Resolution Number 1, Series of 2020 of Barangay Santo Niño, adopting the approved Sangguniang Kabataan Comprehensive Barangay Youth Development Plan 2020 to 2022, Annual Barangay Youth Investment Program for fiscal year 2020, and Sangguniang Kabataan for fiscal year 2020 with the appropriation amounting to 1,502,000 from the previous administration of Sangguniang Kabataan of Barangay Santo Niño, Panabo City. I so move, Mr. President.
To sue by Honorable Renain, duly seconded by Honorable Duhali, and Honorable Blase, and Honorable Pamisaran.
Period of debate and interpellation is now open.
Period of debate and interpellation is now open.
Nobody seems interested. Debate and interpellation is now closed. Open the period of amendments.
Period of debate and interpellation is now closed. We're now in the period of amendments.
Period of amendments now closed.
Period of amendments now closed. Any objections from the floor? Hearing none, the motion adopting Committee Report Number 11, Series 2021, Committee on Finance and Appropriations, regarding Sangguniang Kabataan Resolution Number 1, Series of 2020 of Barangay Santo Niño, the approved the Sangguniang Kabataan Comprehensive Barangay Youth Development Plan of 2020 to 2022 Annual Barangay Youth Investment Program for fiscal year 2020 and Sangguniang Kabataan for fiscal year 2020 with appropriation amounting to 1,502,000 pesos only from the previous administration of Sangguniang Kabataan of Barangay Santo Niño, Panabo City is hereby duly carried and approved.
All right, Honorable Presiding Officer, for the third time, once again, the distinguished gentleman from Barangay New Visayas, can you do once again acknowledge Honorable Wahid Ranain?
Okay, again, Honorable Ranain is now recognized by the Chair.
Thank you so much, Mr. President and Mr. Floor Leader. I move to pass a resolution adopting Committee Report Number 2, Series of 2021, Committee on Housing, Zoning, and Urban Development, regarding request from Rhea E. Cubal, lot owner, for conversion of a parcel of lot located at Barangay New Malitbog, Panabo City, containing an area of more or less 40,027 square meters from agricultural to commercial. I so move, Mr. President.
It was by Honorable Anain, duly seconded by Honorable Blase, Honorable Matutino, Honorable Namuwag, Honorable Duhali, and Honorable Pamisaran.
Period of debate and interpellation is now open.
Period of debate and interpellation is now open.
Nobody seems interested. Debate and interpellation is now closed. Open the period of amendments.
Period of debate and interpellation is now closed. We're now in the period of amendments.
Period of amendments now closed.
Period of amendments now closed. Any objections from the floor? Hearing none. The motion adopting Committee Report Number 2, Series 2021, Committee on Housing, Zoning, and Urban Development, regarding request from Rhea E. Cubal, lot owner, for conversion of a parcel of lot located at Barangay New Malitbog, Panabo City, containing an area of more or less 40,027 square meter from agricultural to commercial is hereby duly carried and approved.
All right, Honorable Presiding Officer, for his committee report number 3, same committee, Committee on Housing, Zoning, and Urban Development. Can you do once again acknowledge Honorable Wahid Ranain?
Period of debate and Honorable Anain is recognized by the Chair.
Thank you again, Mr. President. I move to pass a resolution adopting Committee Report Number 3, Series of 2021, Committee on Housing, Zoning, and Urban Development, regarding request from Richtar Aurelianeda, attorney-in-fact, for reclassification of lots located at Barangay Quezon, Panabo City, containing an area of more or less 75,855 square meter from agricultural to residential. I so move, Mr. President.
It was by Honorable Anain, duly seconded by Honorable Blase, Honorable Pamisaran.
Period of debate and interpellation is now open.
Period of debate and interpellation is now open.
Once again, nobody interested. Debate and interpellation is now closed. Open the period of amendment.
Period of debate and interpellation is now closed. We're now in the period of amendments.
Period of amendments now closed.
Period of amendments now closed. Any objections from the floor? Hearing none. The motion adopting Committee Report Number 3, Series 2021, Committee on Housing, Zoning, and Urban Development, regarding request from Richtar Aurelianeda, attorney-in-fact, for reclassification of lots located at Barangay Quezon, Panabo City, containing an area of more or less 75,855 square meter of agricultural to residential is hereby duly carried and approved.
All right, Honorable Presiding Officer, done with the committee reports. We are now on the adoption of the agenda. We have a calendared business here. New business, we have 3 items, 2 for the finance and appropriation and 1 regarding the veto message of the Honorable Local Chief Executive. And we have 2 inclusion from the unassigned business. Number 1 is an offshoot of my privileged speech. And the second one is item coming from C.4, Committee on Agriculture. Now, therefore, I so move for the adoption of this calendar, this official business of the day. I so move, Mr. President.
To sue by Honorable Duhali, duly seconded by Honorable Matutino and Honorable Blase. Any comments, amendments, objections? Hearing none. The motion adopting the agenda of the 6th regular session of the 8th City Council with 2 inclusions
Yeah.
is hereby duly carried and approved.
Thank you, Honorable Presiding Officer. At this juncture, first to deliver his proposed resolution number 25, the Committee on Finance and Appropriation. Once again, kindly do acknowledge Honorable Wahid Lunain.
Okay, Honorable Renain is now recognized by the Chair. Go ahead.
Thank you so much, Mr. President and Mr. Floor Leader. I move to pass a resolution declaring the appropriation ordinance number 1 series of 2020 embodying the calendar year 2020 supplemental budget number 1 of Barangay JP Laurel amounting to 1,718,812 pesos and 42 centavos inoperative in part. I so move, Mr. President.
To by Honorable Renain, duly seconded by Honorable Pamisaran, Honorable Enad, Honorable Duhali, and Honorable Blase.
Period of debate and interpellation is now open.
Period of debate and interpellation is now open.
Nobody seems interested. Debate and interpellation is now closed. Open the period of amendments.
Period of debate and interpellation is now closed. We're now on the period of amendments.
Period of amendments is now closed.
Period of amendments now closed. Those who are in favor to said proposed resolution number 25, series 2021, can you please raise your hand? Madam Secretary, can you please count?
Thank you, Honorable Chair. Voting yes for the motion, we have Honorable Duhali, Honorable Blase, Honorable Namuag, Honorable Hindiles, Honorable Attorney Enad, Honorable Carisma, Honorable Matutino, Honorable Catalan, Honorable Bangoy, Honorable Pamisaran, the proponent, Honorable Renain, and Honorable Attorney Humamil. All members present voted yes for the motion.
Okay, thank you, Madam Secretary. The proposed resolution number 25, series 2021, declaring the appropriation ordinance number 1, series of 2020, embodying the calendar year 2020 supplemental budget number 1 of Barangay JP Laurel, Panabo City, amounting to 1,718,812 pesos and 42 centavos is inoperative in part is hereby duly carried and approved.
All right, Honorable Presiding Officer, once again, for the Committee on Finance and Appropriation, please do acknowledge the distinguished gentleman from Barangay Visayas, Honorable Arain.
Okay, again, Honorable Renain is now recognized by the Chair.
Thank you so much, Mr. President and Mr. Floor Leader. I move to pass a resolution declaring the 2020 annual budget of Sangguniang Kabataan of Barangay Santo Niño, Panabo City, amounting to 1,502,000 operative in its entirety. I so move, Mr. President.
To by Honorable Renain, duly seconded by Honorable Blase, Honorable Gentiles, Honorable Carisma, Honorable Matino, Honorable Duhali, and Honorable Pamisaran.
Period of debate and interpellation is now open.
Period of debate and interpellation is now open.
No one is interested again, therefore debate and interpellation is now closed. Open the period of amendments.
Period of debate and interpellation is now closed. We're now on the period of amendment.
Period of amendments now closed.
Period of amendments now closed. Those who are in favor of the said proposed resolution number 26, series 2021, can you please raise your hand? Madam Secretary, can you please count?
Thank you, Honorable Chair. Voting yes for the motion, we have Honorable Duhali, Honorable Blase, Honorable Namuag, Honorable Hintiles, Honorable Matutino, Honorable Carisma, Honorable Attorney Enad. May we know the votes of the others? Honorable Catalan, Honorable Bangoy, Honorable Pamisaran, the proponent, Honorable Renain, and Honorable Attorney Humamil. All members present voted yes for the motion.
Okay, thank you, Madam Secretary. The proposed resolution number 26, series 2021, declaring the 2020 annual budget of Sangguniang Kabataan of Barangay Santo Niño, Panabo City, amounting to 1,502,000 only, operative in its entirety, is hereby duly carried and approved.
All right, Honorable Presiding Officer, this is in regards with the veto message of the Honorable Local Chief Executive, Jose Relampagos. At this juncture, kindly do acknowledge the beautiful Attorney Devona Humamil.
Okay, Honorable Humamil is now recognized by the Chair.
Thank you, Mr. Presiding Officer and our Majority Floor Leader. Good morning, everyone. Give me a second. I move from this August Chamber to override the veto message of City Mayor dated January 2021 On City Ordinance Number 02/2021, granting authority to the City Vice Mayor Honorable John Ray G. Gavina to negotiate and enter into contract for job order or contract of service for consultancy in the Sangguniang Secretariat. I so move, Mr. President.
It was moved by Honorable Mamil, duly seconded by Honorable Misara, Honorable Catalan.
Honorable Presiding Officer, may I?
Okay, go ahead, Honorable Duali.
Before the voting, Honorable Presiding Officer, one of the member of this August Chamber would like to manifest his contention about this veto message.
Open first the period of debate and interpellation, then we accommodate the Honorable Enad. You go ahead, Honorable Duali.
All right, I stand corrected, Honorable Presiding Officer. Debate and interpellation is now open.
Period of debate and interpellation is now open.
Honorable Presiding Officer, at this juncture, one of the member, Honorable, the legendary Honorable Enad, will
Okay, go ahead, Honorable Enad.
Thank you, Majority Floor Leader, our Chairman, sir, Mr. President. Now, in connection with this proposed measure, the veto message of the Mayor in connection to City Ordinance Number 2, Series 2021. Now, Mr. Chair, would like to manifest that time and again, it has been already settled by the Supreme Court in the case of Atienza versus Villarosa that the source of fund is what sets the appointing authority of the LGU. Other words stated, Mr. President, if the source of fund belongs to the executive department, then the mayor is the appointing authority of the said personnel or worker. In the same way, if the source of fund belongs to the Sangguniang Panglungsod, it is the vice mayor or the vice governor, as the case may be, Mr. President. Now, the act, with all due respect, Mr. President, the act of vetoing City Ordinance Number 2 by the Executive Department is a blatant display of gross ignorance and arrogance of the law, Mr. President. Allowing the Executive Department to veto the said ordinance would be to grossly violate the principle of separation of powers. The Executive Department is a separate, independent department, the same as the Sangguniang Panglungsod were independent from the Executive Department. So this will violate the principle of separation of powers as well as check and balances. Also, Mr. President, allowing this veto message, affirming this veto message would be tantamount to undue interference of the executive department, of the power of the legislative department by the executive department. Unsay buot pasabot na ko diri, nang hilabot na ang executive department sa legislative, which is a blatant display of undue interference. Muni ako ang purpose diri, punto na ko. No? This has been already settled by the Supreme Court in so many cases, as emphasized by several DILG opinion. With that, Mr. President, I am asking my fellow lawmakers to please thoroughly discuss this. This has nothing to do with politics. This has something to do with the rule of law. No? Kung ako ang vice mayor karon, di ko musugot. No? Di ko pwede diktahan ko. Kung ako po ng mayor, di po gusto nga hilabtan ko sa mga konsehal. Kay independent ta. So please, I'm knocking your wisdom. Set aside our political affiliation. Hunanaon na to. No? Unsay tama. Unsay gipasabot sa Supreme Court. So, thank you very much and kindly consider my manifestation.
Okay, thank you, Honorable Anad.
Yeah, Honorable Presiding Officer, may I?
Okay, go, Honorable Duali.
Yep, the contention of the Honorable, the great Honorable Poloy Nad is, had really stricken my volition. And This is a matter of interdepartment courtesy. Well, as what he had uttered, this is undue interference with our function as the legislator here in our locality. That's all, Honorable Presiding Officer. But the Honorable Plafon Royal Catalan is raising his hand. You want to say something?
Okay, good, Honorable Catalan.
Thank you, Mr. Majority Floor Leader. Thank you, Mr. Presiding Officer. Good morning to each and everyone. Actually, much has been said by Honorable Enad. Some of my points, of my supposed points, were already raised by Honorable Enad. Now, Mr. President, I would just like to grab this opportunity to manifest my stand regarding the veto message coming from the Executive Department, particularly drafted by the Office of the City Legal, the City Office of the City Legal. Mr. President, with all due respect to the veto message, I would like to believe that the reliance of Section 77, Republic Act 7160, incorporated in this veto message is misplaced in our applying in our current situation. The 7160 states through Section 77, even in this veto message, it is presented that the local chief executive may employ emergency or casual employers or laborers paid on a daily wage or piecework basis and hired through job orders for quote-unquote local projects authorized by the sangguniang concerned without need of approval or attestation by the Civil Service Commission. Definitely, the city mayor can hire job orders. But Section 77, if in my opinion, is not applicable in our present situation. It's because this section refers to local projects. For example, if the local government unit would like to construct a drainage or construct a building, it will not be implemented without the approval of the Sanggunian. We approve it through appropriation of funds. In the course of the implementation of the said project, the city mayor finds out that there is a there is a need to augment manpower. That's when the city mayor will enter into and hire job orders in order to fast-track the implementation of that local project. Now, we are discussing here job orders hired under the budget. The source of fund is in the Sangguniang Panglungsod. We are talking here of job orders hired under the funds coming from the Sangguniang Panglungsod. And I would like to believe that Section 77, the usage of Section 77 is misplaced. Second point, Mr. President, the veto message cited, and I will quote, that the reliance in the pronouncement of the case of Atienza v. Villarosa as legal basis for the enactment of the foregoing ordinances is short-sighted. I beg to disagree, Mr. President. In fact, we cited the correct jurisprudence in a plethora of DILG opinions. I would like to cite an example. DILG opinion number 22, series 2016. DILG opinion recently, number 22, series 2018, involving the same case. Honorable Rico Amigo of Municipality of Molave in Zamboanga del Sur. If you read that DILG opinion, the issue of the case is entirely, totally the same with the present situation that we have right now. And it is penned by no less than Ostere Panadero himself, the Undersecretary of the DILG. Although it's just an opinion, it is an opinion, but it is controlling. Mr. President, those aforementioned of DILG opinion relied on Atienza versus Villarosa. What confuses the man behind who drafted this veto message is that in Atienza versus Villarosa, the Supreme Court uses the word or the phrase job order employee. Definitely there is no job order employee. And in fact, they already admitted it in their veto message. But a proper perusal of the case Atienza versus Villarosa, applying statutory construction, the entirety of Atienza versus Villarosa calls for decentralization of power. It calls for separation of power, and it invokes the doctrine of undue interference. In fact, in the case of Atienza versus Villarosa, it go even further in discussing what is the concept of LGU prior to the enactment of 7160. When 7160 was enacted, it calls for decentralization of power, and that what matters is the source of fund. Now, what we are talking right now is employees whose funds will be sourced coming from the Sangguniang Panlungsod. Mr. President, I find it hard to believe that this goes it reaches this level. There is this, I'm sure that the person behind writing this one, I'm sure is aware of the principle in law that there is this legal maxim which states that if we interpret the law, let us not interpret by the words, by the letters that killeth, but by the spirit that giveth life. Atienza versus Villarosa is very clear, Mr. President, that it calls for decentralization of power. Now, Mr. President, I would like to end by stating that this is not in line with any political or personal interest. This is a matter of upholding the rule of law and the integrity of this institution, and which I believe it behoves upon every one of us to protect this institution as legislator of the city. I would like to support the motion to override this veto and let the provincial legal officer to review this case. Thank you, Mr. President.
All right.
Thank you, Honorable Catalan.
All right, Honorable Presiding Officer, before we go to the proponent, let me remind that this argument had been, I was really astonished because it has been presented through the doctrine of ethos and logos. This is a very nice debate, Honorable Presiding Officer. Now, the Honorable Humamel, can you recognize?
Okay, good, Honorable Mamil.
Thank you so much, Mr. Presiding Officer, and to our majority floor leader. I would like to commend first Honorable Katana and Honorable Attorney Inat for all their comments regarding this matter. Actually, they are correct in all their reasons, and I am happy that they are fully equipped with the law with regard to this legislation. However, if I may, I would also like to add to their discussions, which I think is imperative for everyone to hear. There is a case wherein a city vice mayor has also executed a contract based on an ordinance. And this case is actually the case of Arnold Vicencio versus Villar on July 3, 2012. Under this case, the Supreme Court said that it's true that there is no inherent authority on the part of the city mayor to enter into contracts. However, we must also remember that there is a principle in law whereby it is stated that what is not prohibited by law is actually allowed. So there is no prohibition in our local government code. There is no prohibition for the city mayor to sign and enter into agreements. However, under this case, the authority of the city mayor to enter into contracts can be circumscribed by the ordinance granting. So, if we agree and approve to this ordinance, our city vice mayor is actually authorized to enter into contracts. So, this ordinance actually is very imperative, and this will help us with our legal basis when it comes to the legality of the contract between the vice mayor and the job order and consultancy services. That would be all, Mr. Chair.
Okay, thank you. Okay, thank you, Honorable Mamil.
All right, Honorable Presiding Officer, I think nobody wants to deliver his piece, and everybody had already expressed their ideas and intelligence about this matter. Debate and interpellation is now closed. Open the period of amendments.
Period of debate and interpellation is now closed. We're now on the period of amendments.
Period of amendments now closed.
Period of amendments now closed. So for two-third votes to override the veto of the local chief executive regarding City Ordinance number 2-2021, can you please raise your hand? Madam Secretary, can you please count for two-third votes?
Voting yes for the override, we have Honorable Duhali, Honorable Attorney Enad, Honorable Namuwag, Honorable Pamisaran, Honorable Bangoy, Honorable Catalan, Honorable Carisma, Honorable Matutino, Honorable Ranain, and Honorable Attorney Humamil. Honorable Attorney Enad. Yes. In attendance, who voted yes, Honorable Chair, we have 10.
Okay, for record purposes, those who are not in favor, can you please raise your hand? Madam Secretary, can you please count?
Voting nay for that, we have Honorable Hintiles and Honorable Blasi.
Okay, thank you, Madam Secretary. So, two-third votes had been acquired by the 8th City Council. Okay, the motion overriding the veto message of our local chief executive, Honorable Jose Relampagos, on City Ordinance number 2-2021 is hereby duly carried and approved with two-third votes.
All right, Honorable Presiding Officer, done with the item number 3. We are now on the unassigned business. First, allow this humble representation, Honorable Presiding Officer.
Okay, good, Honorable Duhali.
Now, therefore, let me pass a resolution earnestly requesting Vicente Essex E. Minguez, National Bureau of Investigation, BI Provincial Director, Davao del Norte, and Honorable Jose E. Relampagos, City Mayor, to establish a NBI satellite office to draw near the delivery of essential services to the growing population of Panabo City. I assume, Mr. President.
Susu by Honorable Duhali, duly seconded by Honorable Pamisara, Honorable Tutino, Honorable Henteles, Honorable Namuwag, and Honorable Blase.
Honorable Presiding Officer, debate and interpellation is now open.
Period of debate and interpellation is now open.
The Honorable Plopon Royal Catalan would like to support my my resolution.
Hey, good, Honorable Catalan.
Yes, thank you, Mr. President. Well, actually, the majority floor leader is true, Mr. President. I am truly supporting this proposed resolution, Mr. President. Where in fact, Mr. President, I happen to have this conversation with personnel from the NBI, and it seems that this is a work in progress already. They are already in connection with the city mayor as to the creation of this NBI satellite office as we speak. But however, Mr. President, it is very prudent and it's very commendable that as legislator, we also have a piece of it by passing a resolution, and I commend the Honorable Duhali for that. Mr. President, I would just like to propose to the proponent, if he will agree, that we will also include in the resolution the regional director. It will be stated in a manner that it is requesting the regional director Jonathan Balite through provincial director Essex Minguez, if Honorable Duhali is amenable.
Okay, thank you, Honorable Catalan. Good, Honorable Duhali, are you amenable?
Yes, sir. I am very much amenable, but you can introduce that during the
Yes.
Amendment portion.
The amendment portion. Definitely.
All right. Period of debate and interpellation is now closed. Open the period of amendments.
Period of debate and interpellation is now closed. We're now on the period of amendments.
The Honorable Plopon Royal Catalan, Honorable
Okay, good, Honorable Catalan.
Thank you, Mr. President. I would like to propose an amendment on the proposed resolution number 27, Mr. President, by stating that earnestly requesting Regional Director Jonathan Balite through the through Vicente Essex E. Minguez, NBI Provincial Director, to be stated in that manner, Mr. President. I so move, Mr. President.
To sue by Honorable Catalan, duly seconded by Honorable Pamisaran, Honorable Duhali, Honorable Montino, Honorable Hinteles. Any comments, amendments, objections? Hearing none, as motion stated by Honorable Catalan, the amendment portion is hereby duly carried and approved.
All right, period of amendment is now closed.
Period of amendments now closed. Those who are in favor of the said proposed resolution number 27, Series 2021, can you please raise your hand? Madam Secretary, can you please count with amendments?
Thank you, Honorable Chair. Voting for the motion, we have Honorable Duhali, Honorable Blase, Honorable Namuwag, Honorable Hintiles, Honorable Matutino, Honorable Carisma, Honorable Attorney Enad, Honorable Catalan, Honorable Bangoy, Honorable Pamisaran, Honorable Renain, Honorable Attorney Humamil. All members present voted yes for the motion.
Okay, thank you, Madam Secretary. The motion earnestly requesting Regional Director Jonathan Balite through Vicente Essex E. Minguez, National Bureau Investigation Provincial Director, Davao del Norte, and Jose Relampago City Mayor to establish an NBI satellite office to draw near the delivery of essential services to the growing population of Panabo City is hereby duly carried and approved.
All right, at this juncture, Honorable Presiding Officer, from the letter coming from the Honorable Local Chief Executive, this time, can you do acknowledge Honorable Renante Bangoy?
The Honorable Bangoy is now recognized by the Chair.
In line of this request, one of the project being endorsed to the task force Sagip-Saging is also putting a trichoderma laboratory. So, with this matter, I would like to pass the requesting for authority to sign the memorandum of agreement between our authorizing our Mayor Jose A. Relampagos to enter into and sign the memorandum of agreement with the Department of Agriculture Regional Office 11 for the management of banana fusarium wealth in Panabo City. I so move, Mr. President.
To sue by Honorable Bangoy, duly seconded by Honorable Pamisaran, Honorable Duhali, Honorable Matutino, Honorable Hinteles, and Honorable Blase.
Period of debate and interpellation is now open.
Period of debate and interpellation is now open.
Nobody seems interested. Debate and interpellation is now closed. Open the period of amendment.
Period of debate and interpellation is now closed. We're now on the period of amendments.
Period of amendments now closed.
Period of amendments now closed. Those who are in favor of the said resolution, can you please raise your hand? Madam Secretary, can you please count?
Thank you, Honorable Chair. Voting yes to grant the authority, we have Honorable Blase, Honorable Duhali, Honorable Namuwag, Honorable Matutino, Honorable Carisma, Honorable Catalan, Honorable Pamisaran, the proponent, Honorable Bangoy. May we know the vote of the others? Honorable Attorney Enad, Honorable Renain, Honorable Attorney Humamil. How about Honorable Intiles, sir? Yes for Honorable Intiles. All members present voted yes for the motion, Honorable Chair.
Okay, thank you, Madam Secretary. The motion authorizing our City Mayor Jose Iralampagos to enter into and sign the memorandum of agreement with Department of Agriculture Regional Office 11 for the management of banana fusarium wealth in Panabo City is hereby duly carried and approved.
All right, then with the unassigned business Honorable Presiding Officer, we have no business for the third and final reading. We are now on the announcement portion. May I, Honorable Presiding
Okay,
Officer?
good, Honorable Duhali.
All right, I would like to remind the members of the Committee on Public Works, Park and Plaza, that this 1 p.m. we're going to have our committee hearing, right, at the first floor. And anybody? Honorable Matutino, raising his hand, Honorable Presiding Officer.
Okay, good, Honorable Matutino.
Thank you very much, Mr. President. I would like to invite the members of the Peace, about my committee, Peace, Public Safety and Anti-Drug Abuse Committee. We will be having a in committee hearing tomorrow, 9 a.m., purposely for the amendment of proposed amendment of the City Ordinance 2020-02, Mr. Chair.
Okay, thank you, Honorable Matutino.
It's your time. The Secretary to the Sanggunian, you have any, ma'am? There's none. It's your time, Honorable Presiding Officer.
Okay, no announcements from the chair.
All
Thank
right.
you.
Honorable Presiding Officer, 10 minutes past the hour of 11. I move to pass a resolution adjourning this honorable session. I so move,
Pursued
sir.
by Honorable Duhali, duly seconded by Honorable Blase. Any comments, amendments, objections? Hearing none, session adjourned exactly 11:10 a.m. Thank you.